Grammy-nominated poet Kevin Powell was one of the original cast members of MTV's The Real World. He's also a journalist, an activist, and biographer for Tupac Shakur. Today he'll be at the DuSable Museum talking about the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He joins us now live. Good morning, Kevin. Glad to see you.
Good to see you. It's good to see me when I had all that hair.
Yeah, we know you from The Real World, but talk to us about this event that's happening today.
Well, I'm honored DuSable asked me to talk about the legacy of Dr. King today. It'll be a community conversation happening at 2 p.m. It's free. All people are welcome. And I'm literally on the road. It's just in Indiana for 2 dates. I'm going to Alabama from here back to New York to talk about Dr. King. And I think it's especially necessary given the times that we're in, all the kind of polarization we've seen in our country. And I think a fundamental question we need to ask ourselves, each of us, no matter what our identity or identities, am I doing enough in the spirit of Dr. King to help make America and this world a better place? That's what I'll be talking about today.
Yeah, and Kevin, it's interesting because leading up to the holiday on Monday, this is the time of the year that we see a lot of Dr. King quotes on social media, a lot of people posting about Dr. King. But what do you think is the way that we should really reflect on his life's work and how it applies to this current moment that we're living in?
I think we need to read and study and listen to his words. I mean, don't just quote "I have a dream" speech. Actually read the speech, actually listen to the speeches in its entirety, actually pay attention to his work, how he evolved from 1963 over the last 5 years of his life. And he started talking about economic justice. He started talking about issues of poverty. And he didn't just say poor black folks. We need to understand the civil rights movement was engineered by black people, for sure, without question, but it ended up benefiting the entire country. So how do we deal with racism, with sexism, but homophobia, transphobia, ableism, classism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia? Are we really doing what we can in the spirit of Dr. King to understand where these isms and phobias come from? And are we helping to end them or are we perpetuating them? That's what we need to think about as we think about Dr. King.
Is there anything you think when we're looking back on the civil rights movement, his impact during that time period, is there anything you think we're getting wrong collectively? You talked about how he transitioned later on in his life.
Well, the fundamental thread of his life is a great question you just asked. Love, love, love. We have to practice love. I mean, we can't sit here and act like there's not some problems. I'm a first generation college student. I'm clear that I benefited from the civil rights movement. I'm clear that his message was about bringing people together, but having some difficult, uncomfortable conversations, not to make people feel bad or guilty, but how could we learn from the past so we don't make the same mistakes in the present and future? And unfortunately, in some ways, with all the progress we've made, look at your career, look at my career. I just got nominated for a Grammy. I got 16 books, but that doesn't mean anything if the larger society is not also moving forward. So that's what I think about every single day of my life.
And, before we let you go, we got to talk a little bit about your career because you have done so much. How was that transition going from being really a pioneer in reality TV to all of the things you're doing now?
Well, I mean, even on the show on MTV's The Real World, I was a writer. I've been a writer since I was a kid, and it's just amazing to get nominated for a Grammy, especially at this stage of my life. It's an honor, and this is my passion. Just like journalism is your passion, we have to follow what we love doing, and that's what I say to younger people all the time: never stop doing it. I'm going to keep going into my last breath, and I can't wait to get to the Grammys. I can't wait to be there with all the folks. I've been there as a journalist covering other people, so to actually be a nominee is surreal and humbling. That's all I can really say, and I'm really honored about the opportunity.
All right, Kevin. Well, best of luck to you, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. You can catch Kevin today at the DuSable Museum, 2 o'clock, for this discussion on the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He'll also be signing his book, The Kevin Powell Reader, and you can find him on all of the social media platforms.